the Iraqi army is useless. 100% and utterly useless. They will never beat the militias. They won't even try. The only thing that the Iraqi army is good for is giving training to some of the people that have secretly stuck in there that are part of the militias or that are part of the insurgency. And you know what? Us hold this victory, this plan for victory that Bush has got about how we're going to train the troops, and once they stand up, we're going to stand down. First of all, they're never going to stand up. They're lying flat on their back, and they're never going to get up. And then second of all, the whole idea of training these troops is totally a waste of time. Then, you know why? Because fundamentally speaking, the Iraqi army doesn't believe in Iraq. They don't believe there is an Iraq. If you said to them, just like that article explains, the Associated Press, reporters on the ground, talking to the actual soldiers and troops, they say to them, would you fight for the Shiites, your religion, or would you fight for the Iraqi army? They're going to say their religion every time. They're going to pick the Shiite, they're going to pick Sunni, they're going to pick Kurds as their ethnic thing, loyalty over the Iraqi army 100% of the time because they don't believe in Iraq. Because Iraq is a thing that England made up, Great Britain made up 80 years ago. They never believed in it. Yes. And so are there some idealistic people in Iraq who are secular and who think, yeah, sure, you've given enough money, I'd love to have Iraq stay together. Yes, but is it 2% of the population? Yeah, 98%. They're going to split it up. They're going to fight until they get to some political solution where they split it up. And all the lives we lose in the meanwhile is a complete and utter waste.
And just to be, I think you're right, Cenk. But just to be clear, and of course it may seem even silly to point this out. I just want to. I'm going to slightly. I'm not even going to undercut what you're saying. I'm merely going to enhance what you're saying. Obviously,
I like the framing already.
There are thousands and thousands and thousands of Iraqi soldiers who are risking their lives because this is something perhaps obscure. I don't know whether it's a unified Iraq they believe in, but fighting the insurgency they believe in. They believe in stability, and they think that's the best way to get stability, and they've joined the police force. Who knows what their motivation is? So when Cenk says it's not going to work, he means as a whole. It's got no possibility.
There are thousands of those guys. Ben is exactly right. There are millions of guys who don't give a damn about the Iraqi army or Iraq. They care about being Shiites, Sunnis, or Kurds, and they're going to kill each other. And this Iraqi, look, take this to the bank. If I'm wrong, come and never listen to the show again if I'm proven wrong about this, okay? There, I just screwed over Ben and Jill and everybody else working on the show along with me, okay? This Iraqi army is never going to work. The minute we leave, and we will leave, because what we're doing there is utterly useless, and people are dying for no reason, and eventually we're going to catch on to that. I hope to God it's in November of 2006 that the American people catch on to that, and don't give the Republicans another 2 years to have people die for no reason. But when we leave, that Iraqi army is going to fall apart so quickly that militias are going to come in and eat them alive. Because why? You say, oh, the Iraqis can't fight. Of course they can fight. Have you seen the insurgents? Have you seen the militia? They can fight when they care to fight, when there's something they care about. When Muqtada al-Sadr comes up and says, let's fight for the Shiites, they go, yeah! They attack. When the insurgents come and say, let's fight for the Sunnis, they fight like crazy. You want to see Kurds fighting? Go look at their militia, the Peshmerga. When they get them together and say, oh, let's fight for a secular Iraq in the U.S. vision of us all working together in this thing that Great Britain created 80 years ago. Sure. It ain't gonna work! You can either believe me now or believe me later. And look, I know I sound obnoxious. I'm telling you, I know I sound obnoxious. But I've been right about every damn thing in Iraq over the last 3 years. Every one of them. Listeners of the show, they know it. Why am I right? It's not because I know any better. It's not because I'm smarter. Because I read the damn reports. I read when the Associated Press and Knight Ridder and all the other papers go, and they say, oh, my God, it turns out these guys are loyal to Shiites and Sunnis and Kurds. And they're not loyal. I go, oh, okay, well, that makes damn sense to me. But Bush doesn't read that. He said to Wolf Blitzer the other day, Wolf Blitzer, who's so hot.
He's hot. He's getting all the good gets.
He said to Wolf, I don't look at what's on your screens because they're propaganda. I listen to the people who are paid to tell me nonsense, who are paid to tell me propaganda, and who are ready to give me just political angles. And whatever Dick Cheney says, I'm an idiot. I listen to him. I don't listen to what's actual. But we here at the Young Turks, we listen to people on the ground. That's why we've been right about it all along.